Transform School Culture Through Kindness. I'm Annalie Cairns with McGraw-Hill Education, and I will be your moderator for today's session. So joining us today is Jill McManigal, co-founder and executive director of Kids for Peace. She is a former elementary school teacher, character education specialist, children's playwright, and avid volunteer at her children's school. Additionally joining us is Charlotte DeWitt, a former elementary teacher that has spent the last 15 years as a school counselor at Central Primary in Arkansas. She is a grant writer, a fundraiser, an advocate for all children. Charlotte has successfully implemented the Great Kindness Challenge for the past 3 years. We are very excited to have them with us today.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jill, and I'm talking to you from California, from our Kids for Peace headquarters, which is home to the Great Kindness Challenge. And we're just so happy to have you part of the webinar today to learn about the Great Kindness Challenge. We're actually quite delighted that there's over 70% of you who've not done it before. So this is a really beautiful opportunity to bring more kindness to your schools. So thank you so much for being here. And I do want to share with you our goals of this webinar. We first want you to discover how you can empower your students and community to amplify the kindness effect. And then secondly, we want you to walk away with an uplifting plan and free tools so you can go big with kindness. Through this webinar today, we're going to first give you a little overview of the Great Kindness Challenge. We want to explain why it's important to us and why we hopefully will have all of you participate. We'll share how you can keep it simple, or you can go big with the Great Kindness Challenge. And then we're going to focus on how to go big and really have a huge impact. We're going to show you how to go big with the Central Primary School, and that's Charlotte, who is our guest counselor, who's just done amazing things with the Great Kindness Challenge at Central Primary in Arkadelphia. So she'll share what she did for all 5 days of the Great Kindness Challenge. And then we'll show you some week plans, the 5-day plans for both elementary, middle, and high schools. Then we'll talk to you specifically about how to engage your students in both the planning of the Great Kindness Challenge and implementation of the Great Kindness Challenge. We'll talk to you about how you can engage your teachers, especially since most of you are counselors on the call. You know how important it is to get teachers buy-in if you're going to have success. So we'll share how to do that. And then how to engage your community. As the Great Kindness Challenge has grown, we've found ways to bring more community involvement, and it really amplifies the success and the overall impact of kindness in the community. So we'll talk to you about that, and then we'll give you other ideas of how to make it big on your campus and answer questions. And then we'll be done. And as Annalie has said, is that you are welcome to give questions throughout, and both Charlotte and I are happy to answer any questions that you have. So starting with the overview of the Great Kindness Challenge. So the Great Kindness Challenge is a 1-week initiative. We do it the last week of January 25th through the 29th this year. But if that timing doesn't work for your school, you're welcome to do it at any time that is best for your school. It's all based on one checklist. So there's a copy of the checklist there, which has 50 acts of kindness. And the whole premise of the Great Kindness Challenge is giving every single student at your school the tool to activate kindness and to practice kindness. So they spend the entire day doing kind act after kind act after kind act. And as they're doing that, we find that the culture on the campus will actually shift. Internally, it's a transformation, and then externally, the results are shown, and the cultures really are transformed in a beautiful way. And then we found that it leads to infinite happiness when people participate in the Great Kindness Challenge. You'll see there's an app as well. That one has the 2014 date. But we are updating the app, which is great for middle and high school students. And we're putting the finishing touches on that right now, and it will be available soon. And it's basically an interactive checklist. So the paper checklist that you see, the app has just an interactive format for that. So on our next slide, we just want to share quickly about the history of the Great Kindness Challenge. We want to share because we're really proud of it, and we want to share because it has shows the power of kindness and the ripple effects of kindness. It did start in 2012 with 3 schools. I am first a mother. I'm a former school teacher, as Annalei had mentioned, and now I'm the executive director of Kids for Peace. But it started with my 3 schools, my 2 children, one of their schools, and then 2 of our neighboring schools. And they'd asked us ways to become proactive in bully prevention. So we, along with students, came up with the idea of doing a checklist for promoting kindness as the antidote for bullying. So we just started with 3 schools, wildly successful. Our neighboring schools heard about it and said, we want to do that in our schools the next year. And so then by 2013, our second year, we jumped from the 3 schools up to 263 schools. And then the following year, it more than quadrupled, and we went from 263 schools to 1,099 schools. And almost all of that was still grassroots, word of mouth. And then last year, we put a little bit more focused strategy behind it, and we were able to expand over 4,000 schools, over 2 million students who participated. And this year, we have a goal of having 8 million students and 16,000 schools participate. The numbers are important to us because it helps us to do our job better, and it helps us to show the impact of the Great Kindness Challenge. But ultimately, those numbers only they're only important because it's demonstrating that kids are actually doing the work of creating kindness in our world. So we're excited to have you be part of all of that movement. So how to do the Great Kindness Challenge? We really focus on keeping it simple for everyone. Again, as a former school teacher, I know how much can be going on in the school year and how we have to juggle so many things. And so we wanted to make sure that this is not adding one more thing, but really complementing whatever you're already doing and keeping it. So it's really student generated. So the 3 easy steps is first to register your school. So of the 72% of you who have not yet done the Great Kindness Challenge, if you're not currently registered, just go to our website, which we'll provide again. It's greatkindnesschallenge.org. You just register, and then you'll receive the free Great Kindness Challenge checklist and the toolkit. And again, it's very important for us to keep everything at no cost for the schools and just have you do the work of spreading this to the students. So everything that is free for you. And then once you have the checklist, we have you print copies of the checklist and distribute them. And then if you want to plan complementary activities, you are welcome to do that. And then the third step is on January 25th or the 29th, or the best week for you, you get happy and create a culture of kindness on your campus. Easy breezy. So every year we do a survey of the Great Kindness Challenge with the participants. And last year we had 97% of the survey participants state that they witnessed an improvement in their school climate. And 89% said they witnessed an increase in staff morale. So we know that happy staff, happy teachers really add to the overall school climate. So those are definite benefits. We also discovered in our survey that the Great Kindness Challenge elevates school climate and it unites the community, that decreases bullying and increases compassion, and that it minimizes behavioral referrals, and it makes kindness a habit. So now I'm going to ask Charlotte to share why she has felt passionate about the Great Kindness Challenge, what got her so fired up to bring it to Central Primary in Arkadelphia. So take it away, Charlotte.
Hello, it's so good to be here with all of you. And if there's one thing I can talk about for a really long time, it's the Great Kindness Challenge. So Jill, you may have to put my brakes on. So
go for it.
Yes. Well, as a school counselor, I really feel like I take a lot of ownership in the morale of our school, and as well as in our community. And a few years back, I did a whole week about just bully free, and I felt like I said the word bully 1,000 times during that week, and I'm not even sure that bullying didn't get worse that week. So for the next year, I thought I have got to do something a little bit different and put a more positive spin, because I don't like to say the word bully. And through an internet search, I found the Great Kindness Challenge and signed up immediately, downloaded the toolkit, and the difference in our school and community is the most remarkable thing I've ever seen. And not only are our students excited about it, but our teachers are really excited about it. The first year, I kind of planned it myself with just a little bit of input from the teachers because I really didn't know what I was doing. But once I downloaded that toolkit, I just kind of let that be my guide. And so from there, we created just a really amazing kindness challenge week that first year. And so every year when we come back, one of the first questions of my students that are returning is, when is the kindness challenge? And one of the first questions of my teachers is, what are we going to do this year? So it just really grew into something really amazing that I love to share. That picture you're seeing is our school last year, and that's been all over our district and on lots of publications for our district, and we're really excited about that picture. So we can go to the next slide, and I will just say that my first year I did keep it pretty simple. Well, I intended to. I will just tell you that did not happen because even though it started simple, it grew amazingly. And I started out with just sitting down and making a plan for what we could do each day and what broader things I wanted to do during the week. And I met with all the teachers and explained the whole thing with them and got input from them, and shared it on our social media. We have a Facebook page. All of our students got copies of the checklist, and we ran it off in color just because it was a little that more exciting. And so we distributed those. We encouraged the students. We encouraged all of the teachers. And that year was a year that I happened to have a student that needed a special surgery that his family didn't have enough money to pay for. So I'll talk about that a little bit later, but having one really big school project reached out into the community and ended up getting the community really involved. The next year, I did it just got bigger and bigger every year. And I will say that we do the kickoff activities that are found in your toolkit. We have a big kickoff assembly, and during that assembly it's student led, and I have student council I'm in charge of as well. So I really got their input the second year of what did you like about it last year, what would you like to see happen this year. We had meetings, we got their input, we got teachers' input, and during our big opening ceremony, it was completely student-led, and we actually used, and you all should do this your first year, the script that comes in your toolkit. We used one of those scripts and did our assembly that year, and then kind of went from there. But I will say getting your students and your faculty involved will be much easier your second year because they're going to be so excited about what happened before that. I'll talk about Spirit Days and two of our school-wide projects as we get to those slides. So I think we can switch now.
Yes, and I did want to jump in. I love how big you've done it, Charlotte. And for those who feel that do like to start small and build from there, the Great Kindness Challenge can be completely successful if all you do is focus on the Great Kindness Challenge checklist. So if you only take that checklist, only make copies and distribute them and encourage students to participate, that alone will make for a great success and a transformation on your campus. What we'll be talking about and showing today is how to do it even bigger. So we just want to make sure nobody gets scared, though, because you don't have to do all of this to have it successful. Great. So take it away again, Charlotte. I love your enthusiasm.
Okay, great. So the pictures you're looking at, the top one is actually at the high school, our second year. We actually, that was the first year. We had a big pep rally at the high school. They got involved in our whole program and wanting to be involved in the Great Kindness Challenge, and invited our entire school to the high school, and they put on a pep rally for us. And that was actually our closing pep rally. The picture you see there, we did our opening ceremony at the school. And the picture below that, you can see our it's a Spirit Day. That happened to be our Powered by Kindness Day, but we also did Kicking Up Kindness Day, where the kids wore boots. We did Peace, Love, and Kindness Day. They kind of dressed as hippies. We did Kindness Ties Us Together, and every student wore a tie, and I'll tell you a little more about why we did that later, but that was a really fun thing just for the whole ties. And then we did Spirit of Kindness Day, and that is just when they wore their school shirts. And then the Crazy for Kindness Day was a really fun day where everyone just dresses kind of crazy. But having the spirit of all of the dress-up days, what that really helps with to me is getting the parents involved and excited each day, and the kids excited each day, and creates the best photo ops, as you can see in these pictures. And we really pound it out on social media, and these pictures are our most viewed pictures during the week of Kindness Week. We have more hits on our Facebook page than the entire rest of the year combined. So those are kind of fun to do during the Great Kindness Challenge week.
And Charlotte, isn't that you in the green tutu?
It is.
Yeah.
Yay me.
Yeah, that's great.
This first year, you can see the school-wide service project, Kindness Ties Us Together. And I want to talk to you about this because this was a broad kind of project where the entire school had one focus. And this year, the little boys in the picture, that's Robert and Roger. And Robert needed a surgery that his parents really could not afford. And so we did Kindness Ties Us Together that week, where everyone donated money. Oh, and the reason we chose ties is because Roger was a tie-wearing fool. He wore a tie to school every single day from day one to the last day of school. It was just his thing. And we all just loved it. So when we decided to raise money for this family, we incorporated the whole idea of ties. And so what was really amazing is one of the newspaper men in our town decided he heard about what we were doing and raising money for this family, and he did an article and put it in the newspaper before the Kindness Challenge even started. And through that newspaper article, we had men all over our community donating ties to Central Primary because they wanted to make sure every student had a tie to wear. So we ended up with so many. We ended up selling ties for $1, but if anyone didn't have $1, they got a tie. It really didn't matter. And also through that newspaper article, the other schools joined in and helped raise money for this family too. And the happy ending is that he got his surgery. He is doing amazingly well, and it really changed this family and their attitude towards school and their attitude toward life, and it's just was the biggest blessing. Also, all of our community leaders decided, well, these kids aren't going to know how to tie ties, so they came the morning of the day that everyone was supposed to wear ties. We had religious leaders, we had policemen, firemen, our prosecuting attorney, our mayor, all these men came out and tied ties in the morning so that every student could have their tie tied. And that ended up just being a big community project, not only for our school, but for our entire school district. Sorry, my buzzer went off. And last year we went a little bit different route with the project, and it was a really fun, exciting time for our school because every classroom, we have 14 at the time, um, they all just brought their spare change, and I would tell them to, instead of asking your mom or dad or whoever for money, see if you could do some extra chores and bring some money to school that you earned through extra chores. And however much money your class raises, your class gets to decide what kindness they want to do either in our school or in our community. And so every class raised their money, and some of the pictures you see, the first picture is one of the classes actually used their money to buy cookies for every other classroom, and they delivered them all around the school, made sure that they had enough cookies for each member of the class and the teachers, all the specialists, the cafeteria workers, everyone in our school received cookie kindness from this classroom. The second picture is me holding a basket of teddy bears, and that is one of the classrooms used their money and went to the dollar store and bought $1 teddy bears, and then each student made a little card that tells that sometimes we all go through hard times or sad times in our life and we just need a little extra hug. And they gave me the bears and the cards. And so if I have a student that has lost a pet or lost a family member or is just having a bad day, they can come in, and after our visit they get to have a bear and a special card from that classroom. That's just what they chose to do with their money. The third picture is one of our, we call her the hugger, but she is one of our cafeteria ladies whose husband was needing surgery, and one of the classes just gave her all their money and special cards and let her know that we're all praying for her, and just brightened her day. It was just really sweet. The last picture is one of our teachers that their class, we're in walking distance of a Sonic, yay, and they walked over and had organized it with the Sonic employees that they would pay. They went during happy hour, and if someone ordered a drink, then the server would come over and the kids would pay for the drink first, and then the worker would take it to the cars and say that the students at Central Primary wanted you to have a nice day and it's paid for. But one of the coolest things about that was that almost every car that had their drinks paid for either said, well, let me pay for the next one, and went ahead and gave the money, or said gave the money that they would have paid to the server for an extra big tip. So that turned out really beautiful. But we had 14 projects that I don't have time to tell all about, though I would if I could. And but that was just how we did it that year. I think Jill's going to talk about a project that we're hoping for everyone to do for this year that wants to. It looks like more Spirit Days pictures there. We also had every teacher decorate their door, and with some kind of kindness theme, and that's just pictures of two of those doors. It's just good to get the classes and teachers involved in a really big way to where they feel like they're really taking ownership. This is our lip dub. Now, we can't really play it on here, but I think we're going to figure out a way to share that, or you can always go to Central Primary School, Arkadelphia, Arkansas, our Facebook page, and look under photos and videos and see. Both years we made a lip dub, and the first year was we used the the actual song, the Kind-Hearted Hands song, and every student in our school is involved in the lip dub. And then the second year we used the Bruno Mars, one of the Bruno Mars songs. And this is just kind of how we ended our week, by making the lip dub and getting it all out there. One of the funnest things that we do. We also, that very first picture you saw with our heart, every year we take a big school-wide picture. The first year I think we did a peace sign, and we just have a dad or someone get up on the roof of our building and take the picture from up there. So I do want you to see that lip dub, because if second and third graders can do this, I mean, no matter if you're at an elementary, middle, or high school, it's just a really fun bonding experience for everyone to be involved in something like this. And I see she's put the link over in the chat box, so you'll be able to view that if you want to. I will say that we got the high school, we have an East Lab STEM kind of program that's science and technology. We partnered with the high school, and they actually produced the video for us. They did all the footage. It's all in one take, but then they were able to make it into a format that we were able to share with everyone. So.
Wow. Charlotte, we are beaming ear to ear over tears of joy. We've heard these stories before, and just it touches us every time what you're doing with your students there. So grateful for that. And I must admit, whenever we need at our Kids for Peace headquarters an extra dose of happy, we watch that video. So we'll be sure to send the link again in the follow-up material to everybody, because it is just happy. So amazing everything that you've done. You definitely go above and beyond, and we're so happy to see and hear that the effects are lasting on your campus. We want to show you just a simple format we can use to plan your week, and we have it listed at elementary school and then also for middle school and high school. We do get often that people wonder how you can do this in high school, and it really doesn't need to look much different. I actually have 2 high schoolers myself, and who started out younger before, but now they're in high school. And then we have high school interns, and they're the ones who help to develop the checklist to make sure that it's relevant for high school, and then a lot of the adaptable activities. So for this, our plans on Monday, we always make sure that we distribute the Great Kindness Challenge checklist. And we don't want to lose focus that that's the most important part of the Great Kindness Challenge, and a tool that really will engage every single student. So at the high school level, we suggest that you distribute that in the English classes, because all students take English classes. We like to have some sort of kickoff activity. We recommend that. Again, as Charlotte said, in the toolkit, we do have I think there's maybe 5 scripts now. We keep adding to it every year. So there's scripts that you can adapt and make your own, or just take it exactly as it is. And then we recommend launching a service project if you're going to be doing a service project. So that's the Monday, the plan that we have. A lot of schools do a daily kindness quote, and we have that into each of the remaining days, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, both in elementary and in high school. It's a nice way to focus the students and remind them that the Great Kindness Challenge is happening. Several schools have the students read a kindness quote over the intercom system. We've heard of schools who have any kind of broadcast, either television or radio, that they will do the kindness quotes there. And a lot of schools have the community leaders come in to be guest speakers for the kindness quote. And that's a really easy way to show the value of the community and give the community members a meaningful activity to do. You'll see on Tuesday that we have the recess kindness station for the elementary school, and at high school we have the lunchtime kindness station. We haven't shown you pictures of that yet. We do have in the toolkit how to do a kindness station, but it's basically a designated area that has support and supplies for the checklist. So example, one of the checklist items is write a nice note on a Band-Aid for the nurse. So at the recess station, they'll have Band-Aids and pens and markers there. Another one is to make workers. So there'll be poster paper and paint and all of that. So different opportunities to actually do the checklist at those kind of stations. When we get into community a little bit more, we'll share that that's another nice way to involve the community is to have them come help with the station. So we have that for a lot of schools. We'll do that every day, whether inside or outside, weather permitting. And then other thing that's of note there is on Friday we do, a lot of schools do a celebration, assembly, or rally, and they'll wrap up their service projects. If they're raising money, they'll share how much money is raised. Often they can have, they're already having the beneficiaries of the service are able to come in and show the impact that it's had on them. And a lot, we'll talk about some incentives later, but a lot of the principals will offer incentives to the schools on Monday, to the students on Monday, and then if the students have all completed the checklist, then they will reveal their awards of that incentive on Fridays. So we'll give some more examples of that in a bit.
Great, Jill, I'm going to pause for a quick question. We had someone ask that their school is a K-3, so would you have a checklist that may work for younger students, for example, being able to read or a smaller list?
Yes, so we currently don't. We, with schools, actually pre-K through college now are doing the Great Kindness Challenge, and they all adapt the current checklist that we have. But what we have seen done for kinder, first, especially kinder and first graders, is they will get a blown up checklist and then do the challenges piece by piece. They kind of chunk it out. If it's a K-3, the third graders could probably read the checklist, and they can partner with the younger children to help them complete their checklist. That's something that down the road we might be creating, but currently we do not have a separate checklist. Okay. Any other questions, Annalise? Okay, so we'll move on. Okay, excellent. So we'll jump into how to engage your students in the planning of the Great Kindness Challenge. So first, the students can take a lot of the ownership in how to plan what's going to go on. They can decide, they take the Monday through Friday calendar, they can decide what activities they want to do. They can decide on the spirit days, if we're going to do spirit days. They can decide on service projects. They can decide if they want to be part of the rally or kickoff assembly. So they can really be an integral part of the planning. We also really recommend having teacher kindness kits. We'll talk a bit on the next slide about that. But they're basically just little easy packets that have everything in one place for the teachers to make it as easy for the teachers as possible. And kids love putting that together, assembling the checklist and the schedule of the week and other fun little surprises for the teachers. The students can not only plan the Great Kindness Challenge, the kickoff rally or assembly, but they can actually run the entire thing. And we have run and star in the entire assembly or rally. And in the assembly, in the toolkit, all of the assembly rally scripts we have are based on the youth doing the rallies themselves. The students can do the daily kindness quotes, as I've mentioned. And then they can run the kindness stations, and kids love to help other kids, so they can be in charge of those. And then, again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to have the entire school actually participate in the checklist. So this is really unique part of the Great Kindness Challenge as a program, is it gives a very tangible way that every single student can participate and have a meaningful impact in this activity. So the next slide is how to engage your teachers. Probably the most important is to make sure that they know when it's happening. We have a nice save the date in an electronic format that you'll receive when you download the materials. So to make sure that they have that and have it on their calendars, so there's no surprise there. It's also as early as a plan is made, it's nice to share that with the teachers so that they can have their schedule and feel fully engaged with that. The teacher kindness kits that I mentioned before, there's a picture on the bottom right-hand corner of a sample teacher kindness kit. This is really helpful in the teachers feeling like they don't have to do anything more except hand out those checklists and encourage the students to be as kind as possible. So a teacher kindness kit can be as simple as the checklist and the calendar schedule of the week. We like to add little surprises and ones that we put together. We add a Kindness Matters bracelet, sometimes for the entire school, for the entire classroom, or adding kind bars for them, the little treats. Highly recommend the teacher kindness kits. And then a best way to engage your teachers is just to encourage the joy with them. Once they participate, there's some of the kind deeds are showing appreciation for them. And so it's really nice so that they feel a big part of the entire week. And it's a really big dose of happy. So just encourage them to relax and have fun with it. Our next slide is about how to engage your community. So the community, one of the great things they can do easily is to participate in the kickoff activities. If you are simply going to be distributing the checklist, they can come and help distribute the checklist. If you're going to be doing an assembly, you can do an entire assembly. We did add a great script in this current toolkit that has firefighters and police officers who came to the rally. And we did a dance-off between the firefighters and the police officers. One of the kind deeds is to do a happy dance. And so we had them do a happy dance as a little competition. And the students just went crazy. They loved it. So fun. So to have the community be part of that, on the top left photo there are firefighters, mayors, superintendents, school board, local businesses. They all made a kindness community tunnel, and they greeted the students as they went into the morning assembly, the kickoff assembly. They made this beautiful tunnel, and just the energy was so contagious. I still have some of our elected officials and school and community leaders come to me and say that was their favorite day of the entire year. Other things that your community can do is to judge any kind of kindness contest that you might have. Our toolkit has just so many different ideas of contests and other activities. If you have a door decorating contest, or if you have a kindness essay contest or a poster contest, they can judge that. As mentioned, they can also read the daily kindness quotes, easy way. They can volunteer at the kindness stations. The bottom right-hand picture is one of a kindness station. Clearly that is California because it's sunny and warm. We've learned since we're based in California that it's not sunny everywhere. So it's a great kindness challenge takes place in the winter. Other schools adapt and have that kindness station inside. Something else the community can do is to provide incentives. Incentives can be the Kindness Matters bracelets or Kindness Matters pencils, or they can, if it's a local ice cream shop, they can offer ice cream cones for every student that completed their checklist. You bring the completed checklist and receive free ice cream. So it's a way that the community can support kindness and show that they really care about their schools. And the community can also donate the Printed Great Kindness Challenge checklist. That is the only expense for the schools is to get the checklist. So some communities team up with their local printer and get that done for free. And a lot of schools have had a proclamation created, which we have a sample in the toolkit as well. And students just feel so important when the mayor or other elected official presents that proclamation, showing that kindness is important and highly valued. So we can't emphasize enough how much it can enhance the whole exposure, the whole experience for the week of the Great Kindness Challenge when the community gets involved. And there are even more ideas in the toolkit of how to make that happen. So that toolkit of ours has, we call it Creating Kindness A through Z ideas, and there are more than we can cover here, but we wanted to give you some of our very favorites off of that list, favorites that also make a big difference. One are the incentives. Students, we don't like to bribe them to be kind, but students like to work for something extra, especially the older students. So we have some different incentives, whether they be tangible, or some of our favorite incentives are the collective intangibles. At my children's school, the principal said that if every student participated in the Great Kindness Challenge, that he would jump out of an airplane. So that was That's big. Yeah, skydiving, and they're going to be doing that at the local high school. They're going to combine, unite the entire community that way. So he's going to be jumping out of an airplane. Another fun story is a principal in a rural school said that she would kiss a goat if all of the students participated, which we heard about that from a newspaper article, which we thought was quite funny. So the ideas can be, pretty outrageous, and it's just a fun way to bring the students together collectively to complete the Great Kindness Challenge. Other ideas to make it big, to decorate your school. Charlotte showed how they decorate their doors. We have seen schools where they put posters, at the very beginning. On the bottom left-hand corner, there's the Kindness Matters sign that they created with the red cups on their school fence. They decorate by doing decorating the marquees, notifications there. So the decoration, we've seen some schools that do talk, the sidewalk talk, leading all into kindness messages and all. So there's just so many fun ways to decorate the school using the spirit. We love the idea of the positive post-it notes, especially for the older students. We've seen it where the staff made all the notes and put positive post-it notes on all of the student lockers who had lockers. We've also seen it that the students do it for other students and put it on either their cubbies or their lockers. It's a beautiful, happy way to spread kindness. School-to-school kindness is another really lovely idea, and that's where one school does an act of kindness for another school. One school did it simply as making a big "We love" the name of the neighboring school, and then they had all the students sign it, and then they went in early in the morning and just put it on their front fence. So when they all came up to school, they saw that note from that other school, which is just really lovely way to support community. There's also class-to-class kindness. Charlotte gave a great example of how the one class made cookies for all their other classes, which is just great. We've heard a lot of classes that will have the younger students partnering with the older students, and then they together go off and do some kind acts together. One of the challenges is to thank your principal creatively. So we heard about one class of kindergartners with another class of fifth graders that came in, and they had created a dance and a song that was all for that principal, and it was just a hoot. So lots and lots of fun ways to unite in kindness. Other schools have done flash mobs, which are really just a fun way to come together. We also have ways to incorporate the kindness into your curriculum. We will specifically be offering a book called What Does It Mean to Be Kind? Yes, What Does It Mean to Be Kind? It's a beautiful new picture book. We're going to be providing electronic versions of that for every school that is registered for the Great Kindness Challenge, and that has some supporting lessons that it can happen for that week. So our toolkit has ways to integrate kindness into your curriculum, and it is Common Core. It's Common Core adapted, relevant. And we also have with the Random Acts of Kindness, they're the ones who created the main curriculum that we promote in their great Random Acts of Kindness Foundation. And then some other ideas to make it big is to get the media involved. We had the media involved at my children's school from the very beginning, and the children there they just feel so important because they've seen now their faces all over the local and regional media, and it really helps to elevate the experience, and it helps to bring great press for your school. And there's too many stories out there that don't feel so good, and this is completely a feel-good story. So we have found that media loves to run stories about the Great Kindness Challenge. When you go to our website later, you'll be able to see our media video that we put together with just a snippet of all the media that we had last year, and this really shows the joy of the Great Kindness Challenge. Our toolkit does have press release, media alerts, and it has steps of how to get your media engaged. So we really highly recommend that you invite them to come tell the good story and showcase your school in such a positive light in your community. And then the last big idea to go big is doing a global service project. As Charlotte mentioned, she has done beautiful community service projects. First, actually, a school service project for one of her students, and then for theirs for their school and the community. We have a global service project that we're inviting everyone to participate in this year. It's called Kind Coins for Kenya. And in the picture that you're seeing there, that's actually me in Kenya. I'm the blonde, if you can guess. That's there. We're having a community meeting there with the families, the students, and the leaders of this little village, a very remote village in McKay. Our village doesn't have any lights, there's no electricity, no running water. Before I met some of my friends in Kenya, they did not have a pre-primary school. So we started a pre-primary school, but they don't have a permanent structure. So every year, I've gone now, there 4 years, and every year I go, the school's in a different place. One time it was just literally under a tree. So this last visit, I said, we have the means to unite all the students in America to help build a school for this village. You'll see that little picture of Paul there. The first time I met Paul, he was 3, and every year I go back, I get a updated report on all the students of our school and really build a relationship. And so Paul is just one of the children that will be benefiting from a new school. I went this last time with 2 other volunteers, and one of them, Kristen Kinney, created a video that talks about the whole story, talks about a life and the daily life of a child and why it's important to her to have a school. And so we've created that as a tool for you to be able to engage your students if you feel so compelled to help raise money for this school. We will be returning this summer. We partner with a nonprofit. It's a man named Edward Kabaka. He's now a very good friend of mine, it's like family. So he has built several schools. So we're partnering with him to build a school. It will be finished this summer, and we'll be going back. And we are going to be inviting any school who helps raise funds for the Kind Coins for Kenya, for the school in McKay, to send, with any donations they have, to send a photo of the students who raised the funds with a wish that they're making for the children of the school. And within the classrooms, we're going to be doing walls of wishes. And we're going to be putting your photographs on those walls. And so as the students are learning, they're going to be surrounded by all the faces of the children in America who help to raise money for the school. So we're really excited about that. We're really excited about uniting and having a meaningful service project so that the students here in America, it helps increase their compassion, it helps them remind them that they are global citizens, and it makes them feel good knowing that they're helping others. And when they see the video, it actually will make them feel better about their own education. And when you have a chance to see it, you'll know what I mean by that. So, Kind Coins for Kenya. We invite you all to participate in that. So there's a lot to say, and I feel like there's still so much that we haven't said. Again, it's all in the toolkit, other ideas. But we would like to open up to more questions from any of you.
Okay, we've had a couple come through, and the first one wanted to know if you have a video of the flash mob that you referenced a few slides ago.
We will look for, yes. So one of the schools said that they've had one, they haven't sent it to us yet. So we'll look for that again. Yes.
Okay, great.
And then, and what we do on it, we have a Kids for Peace YouTube channel. So Kids for Peace is a nonprofit that, and the Great Kindness Challenge is our premier project. So we have the Kids for Peace YouTube channel, and we like and favorite all of the videos that come our way from the Great Kindness Challenge. So there are several really wonderful examples of how other schools have done the Great Kindness Challenge from our YouTube channel.
Great. And then another question, this is directed towards Charlotte, but Jill, I'm sure you can chime in as well. This individual had asked, what is the one thing you feel was the most important for implementation in your first year?
I think getting the very first year, getting a really good organized plan so that the teachers know what to expect, the students know what to expect, and getting the teachers on board with the whole idea, but just sitting down with your students and your teachers and coming up with a plan is really helpful for everyone, and getting it out on social media, as far as if you have a school Facebook page or a school website, because from there it just grows and grows into the community.
Wonderful. And I would like to add to that, to me the most important thing is the checklist, and I'll keep coming back to that, excuse me. And there was one school that the principal heard about the Great Kindness Challenge on a Monday, and some teacher said that my child is doing this at my school, why are we not doing this? So she found out on a Monday about it. The principal herself went and made photocopies of all of the checklist, and then hand delivered to all the teachers and said, okay, go, we're doing it now. And then they ended up doing it for all 5 days, and with just the checklist, with no prior planning. And she said it was just such a beautiful, joyful week. So the planning does absolutely makes it bigger and more impactful. And with just a checklist, it can still be really, really meaningful.
Great. And then I'm going to be able to lump a few of these together. We had some participants ask, how do they register their school, and then do you need to register again each year?
Great question. So to register, you go to our website, which is greatkindnesschallenge.org, and there's a sign up to your school button, and it's pretty easy to see right there, kind of in the middle of the page. Sign up your school, and just click on that, and you'll sign that up. And then it asks, because of school filters, strict spam filters, it does ask you to verify that you can receive the information. So then you'll receive a verification email. If you don't receive that verification email, it means that spam ate us up and it's not going to come to you. So then we suggest that you email us directly, and that information's on the contact information is on the website. That happens maybe a quarter of the time that spam filters block because of the school emails. And then the other question was, do you need to register every year? So no, once you're registered, you're always registered. We do an opt-out, and you can, if you need to receive the toolkit again, and someone else in your school can go ahead and register again so they can get the materials. That's okay. But we do an opt-out system.
Great. And then we had another question that wanted to know how the Kindness Station works.
So the Kindness Station, in the toolkit, it does give very specific directions of how you can set that up, and some other photos of that. The most typical setup of that is what I've seen is on every day it focuses on a few of the challenges. Like on Monday, it'll focus on 5 of the challenges and have supplies out. Say if it was focusing on the signs for the cafeteria, then there'd be some poster board and paints out. If it was cut out a heart and slip a heart into someone's friend's backpack, it'll have cut out hearts with, again, markers and pens that are out there. If it's a pick up trash around your campus, it might have gloves, plastic gloves, so you can then go out and pick up trash around your campus. If it is to thank the PTA, PTO, then it can have little thank you cards they can write in. So we'd have some of the material for some of the challenges set up in a little station style, just either at lunch tables, or if you're doing it inside, tables are often brought out with a sign that just says Kindness Stations. But again, the toolkit has very specific examples of how to make that happen.
Great. And then another question is there a checklist formatted that can be adapted for an individual school or grade level?
At this time, we have not done the adaptation. We're still working on getting the format that can be adapted. So one of the things is we are a very grassroots nonprofit, so we keep growing as we can, as the requests come in. Currently, Asha is our program director, and she is willing for anybody who has very specific, for specific reasons, changes that need to be made. She'll actually, if you email her, she will make that and send that back out to you. So we try to be full service here. and Asha's email, her email is spelled Asia, A-S-I-A, at thegreatkindnesschallenge.org. Thegreatkindnesschallenge.org. Wonderful. Well, any other questions? Good.
Oh, we just had one more pop. Oh, I'm sorry. We just had one more pop through that asked how can one receive the kit?
So when you register, the toolkit immediately, once you hit send or hit submit, you'll immediately receive a verification that thank you for registering. Here are your tools, and you can immediately download from that. And then you'll receive another verification in your email saying that comes through MailChimp. Comes from MailChimp, and it'll say that you want to confirm that you indeed registered, and then we'll send you again in your email the toolkit and the checklist. So you'll have two opportunities for that. For some reason, if you don't get it that way, you can email us. Email Asia, A-S-I-A, at The Great Kindness Challenge, or info@thegreatkindnesschallenge.org. On this last slide, I do want to point out the Facebook. Our Facebook is a really great resource for ideas. It's a very inspirational, happy, upbeat, informational website. I mean, not website, excuse me, Facebook page. And we also have great photos through the years that showcase the Great Kindness Challenge in action. So I highly recommend you following or liking us on Facebook if you don't already. It's a really great resource for information. Excellent. So, Charlotte, do you have anything else that you would like to say?
I think I'm good. I just really hope that everyone will get on board and check out all the resources, and they just can't even imagine what a difference this can make in a school and a community, big or small.
Beautiful. Well, on that note, I'd like to thank Annalie and McGraw-Hill again for hosting this webinar for us and showcasing the importance of kindness. So thank you so much, Annalie. And thanks to all of you for taking the time to learn ways that you can make your school a safe, kind, compassionate place for all students where they can all thrive. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and thank you, everyone. And just to recap, we will be sending up a follow-up email with a link to this recorded webinar and the slides to be made available, so everyone will have that access as well. So again, thank you to our participants and for everyone that called in. And we hope you found this information valuable, and we look forward to a safe and kind school year.
Beautiful.
Thank
Bye.
you.